Hello again, YouTube, and welcome back to Since Memories of Starry Sky. My name is MS-Punker1, and in last video we finally learned the true nature of a certain person. Kido though fell in our trap and showed us his true nature, and we caught him. So how will this play out now when we have him here? How will things end? Because I have a feeling we are at the end of at least this route now. Let's see here, so we just have anything here.
そうですね。もし取り壊しなんて話になれば、それこそ重機でまとめてぺしゃんこでしょ。
And that's what I read in the end of the last one. Even treasure could appear to be trash in the eyes of someone who didn't know its value. Even if I had found whatever it was by sheer coincidence, I may have ended assuming it was useless and thrown it away. That was why Kido had led on assembled and provoked people to solve a puzzle. I could surmise that much. In reality, I had totally fallen for it, and had Shahaya and Azusa solved the puzzle. What were you trying to get your hands on so badly you needed to deceive all of us, Kido?
欺いただけでなく、鍵を手に入れるために事故を仕組んだのではないでしょうね。
Shahaya? But that's exactly what I think. Wouldn't surprise me at this point if he went so far as to, in a way, murder Takaya. Shahaya was likely getting anxious since Kido had been finally fairly tight-lipped. She trembled when posing that question to Kido from over his shoulders.
やっぱりあなたは高谷さんだけでなく純也まで。
違います。僕はそんなつもりは。
He denied it awfully vimply, huh? Sorry if I said that word wrong. Maybe Shaya's accusations were what hit him the hardest.
僕はただ見ていただけで。あの事故はあくまで偶然で、それ以上大それたことなんてしていない。絶対に。
And the question is where you were watching from, since, like I said many times before, for an accident like that to happen, the driver must turn the wheel to evade something. So can it be that you just stood in the way of the car? You couldn't trust anything this guy swore to anyone. And the fear was shot in a dark, heavy glare.
本当なんだ。これは信じてくれ。
And our gazes gotten him to recoil a little. Even as his tone lowered somewhat, he continued to explain himself.
ただ、その目の前で起きた状況を利用しない手はないと、そう考えるのが当然だろう。
No. I definitely would have been capable of, wouldn't have been capable of thinking naturally if an accident happened right in front of me.
事情を知り得た人間が都合よく消えてくれたから、先生に報告する際に少し脚色をしただけで。
Baelish?
忠道さんが先生に対して何か企んでいたようですが、僕が手を回して阻止しましたと。
おじいさまがお父様に？
I could hear a word in Shaya's voice. I wonder.
本当なんですよ。その具体的な証拠がこの家に眠っているはずで。
So you were looking for this evidence, and you needed the key to find it.
ああ、君のお兄さんはその忠道さんに信頼されていたから。彼に鍵を預けたのも忠道さんに鎌をかけて聞き出していたから、全部結びつくはずだと。先生にもそれで納得してもらった。
So basically the assumption was my brother had been trying to use the key in Shahaya's grandfather's stead, and I act in a way that would be detrimental to Hojo. He had taken the credit for preventing that from happening. What the heck is that about? He used my brother's death to his advantage. My brother's accident had been purely coincidental. This wasn't by any means, but I could accept it. What revolted me was, if I recall, your engagement to Shaya was made official after that accident, wasn't it? I hate to imagine this, but did you get Hojo to agree to your marriage to Shaya as a reward for my brother's accident? At the time I had been stuck undergoing treatment and recuperating from the accident. It made sense now, but Shahaya probably had trouble getting over the massive shock of nearly losing me, and it hampered her judgment. That may have been why she did as she was told and and agreed to the engagement, only to leave everyone wondering why did you accept. Saying it was for the sake of the Hojo family or her duty had simply been the means to help her process it. She had reasoned with herself after the fact.
そういうつもりじゃなかったんだが。
では、どういうつもりだったんですか？
いや、その。
This guy taken advantage of Shaya while she was overwhelmed to obtain the position of a successor to the Hojo family.
僕はただ正当な評価を求めただけで。
I'd heard he run his mouth while drunk about how he made a risky gambit and how it was only natural for him to take over. Hadn't I?
本当にそれだけなんだ。他には何もしていない。
If I had died instead of my brother, someone had once told me I should have, and I may have wanted that for myself at one point. But what if it had actually happened in real life? I would have made Shahaya cry 2 or 3 times harder, right? All while passing on completely unaware. You got to be kidding me. I meant to say that to myself, but my low tone must have reached Kido's ears, and he looked visibly terrified while, well, whatever.
お父様にもきちんとお伺いしないと。
Shaya was enraged in her own way. That only made sense. She would need to face Hojo sooner or later, so to that end. Where's the key? You do have it, right? I had to make its whereabouts clear to bring everything into the open. Kido?
持っている。ああ、持っているさ。持っているとも。せっかく今日まで隠していたのに。僕の苦労は全部水の泡だよ。
Why was he acting like a victim in this situation? That never belonged to him. Never belonged to you in the first place. By all rights, shouldn't you have either given that to Hojo or disposed of it?
そんなことするものか。この鍵は僕の最終兵器になるんだからな。
最終兵器？
やっぱりここ毒ガスでも埋まってるんですか？
Don't take that part seriously. That was fake intel that you spread around. You're saying you were going to use this to shoot Hojo in the back.
ああ、そうだ。よくわかってるじゃないか。なんでもや風情が。
Right. I was glad to see he was feeling better. I just linked everything Kido had said together in my head. Was this guy the type that liked to brag about everything, even the things nobody asked about, once a conversation really got going? Would you please tell us the whole story? If there really was an inheritance here somewhere, were you going to use as a way of dethrowing Hojo?
それだけじゃない。忠道さんが何か企んでいたと言ったろ。僕はそれが先生にとってスキャンダルになる物証を集めていたと踏んでいる。
Oh, that was why he'd been going on about evidence, this and evidence that since earlier.
何しろ、あずさだかルナだかいう隠し子が存在したわけだからね。遺産を残したかったなんて話も怪獣作だったのかもしれない。
Was he suggesting that Shahaya's grandfather was trying to use Azusa? There's no way. Perhaps Kido had taken it a step too far. Was really playing with fire now.
君たちは知らないだろうが、水面下での暗闘というのは政治の世界では身内相手でも行われるものなんだよ。
The person in question hadn't noticed and I didn't care.
隠し子の面倒なんて善意だけで見ようとするものか。先生にしろ、忠道さんにしろ、その娘に利用価値を見出したからに違いない。千早様、ストップ。
What the? I spun around and Shahaya... Hey!
おじいさままで悪く言ってあの子まで巻き込もうとするなんて姉として許せない。
Setting aside the fact she was trying to lift an incredibly large heavy vase that made me go, there's no way you can lift that by yourself. Even supposing she had managed to lift it, what was she going to do with it? Was she planning to turn this into a legitimate crime scene or some out of some detective soap opera?
千早様、あなた手を痛めてるのに何やってんですか、もう。
Renata was trying to stop her in a panic. Kido, on the other hand, realized he had overstepped and gasped at Shihaya. Shihaya seemed to have realized that it was impossible for her to lift and gave up on hurling the vase. Why was she breathing so heavily? Shaya, you should give up on that idea. It impact your future. I understand exactly how you feel, but listen, don't do it. Better avoid any fights with Shihaya from now on. Yep. Renata, sorry, but could you take care of Shihaya?
はいはい。忠臣蔵で電柱でござるって浅野匠の神を止める人物誰でしたっけ？あの気分。
What's that supposed to mean? That was the Akko incident, to be precise. I think that character was Kayakawa or Kyogoko. The book is on the shelf over here. I shared that snippet of knowledge when turned back to Kido. You really are an idiot, aren't you? He saw himself as a schemer, only to constantly push Shihaya's buttons. Yeah, right. It was sloppy if nothing else. If you wanted to take over the Hoga family, you shouldn't you have halfway achieved your goal from the moment you got engaged to Shihaya? It was awful to imagine, but Hojo would have retired eventually. If he had been patient, Kido should have become the next successor, even if he hadn't done anything other than marry Shihaya. But here, that man was, his future as a successor surely lost with a cynical smile.
門外漢の君にはわからないだろうな。政治家という生き物の生命力が。
Gives politicians life.
先生はこの先さらに上り詰めていくだろう。いずれは大臣、党幹部、うまく立ち回れば総理の椅子だって転がり込んでくるかもしれない。
I'm thinking, so I'm just curious. Is Hojo? Is he? This is in Tokyo, right? This Itosan is not in Tokyo, so he is sitting as a representative in the Diet building, but only as he's a local politician for that region. Just like we in Yeah, in America it's, I guess, governors and so governors for each state. And so, in here in Europe, or at least in Sweden, so we have the governing parties, so we have their own smaller governing seats in each city or region. So I'm guessing that Hojo is like and high stands, and he has a position in just that specific region that Sumisora is lying in. So I don't think he's in the Diet building. I could hear the jealousy dripping from Kido's voice, almost like this Minister Hojo already seemed real to him.
そんなチャンスがゴロゴロしている世界から、あの強欲な先生がおとなしく引退すると思うか？まだまだ先の話だろうよ。
Even if it does, I could feel Shahaya's enraged aura from behind me when Kido called her father greedy. But I trusted Hinata to keep her calm. Couldn't you have lined your pockets while under him and waited?
秘書として、婿養子として、延々と使いっ走りをやらされながらかい？
As odd as this was to say, for the very first time I sensed a very human weakness from Kido. Even this man who tried to remain sprightly while repeatedly saying and doing things that looked down upon others. At the end of the day, he was still a human. He got exhausted and stressed like the rest of us.
何年も何十年もだ。政権が何度変わっても僕の立場は変わらないだろう。耐えられるものかよ。
He spat that out even more emphatically.
政治は結果だ。どんな手段を用いようと、成果さえ出せば全ては無罪放免。それこそ先生を見てみろ。表向きクリーンなイメージを保ちつつ、裏では強引な手段も用いて地元に利益をもたらし続けるからこそ票を得る。そして選挙に勝つ。勝てば正義なんだよ、政治家は。
それが真理だとしても、あなたはまず勝つことさえしていないでしょ。
Had Chihaya calmed down a little? Or maybe she had turned icy? She quietly stepped in front of Kido and stated,
勝負に挑むことすらせず、あなたは他人の功績や遺産をかすめ取ろうとしただけ。私にはそうとしか思えません。
Kido turned away at this point. He couldn't look Shahai in the eye, and nor could he stand being looked at directly.
鍵を渡してください。
That was all Shahai asked for.
鍵を渡しなさい。おじいさまのものを返しなさい。
For the first time in a long time, I had a dream about my brother that night. Hopefully a good one.
簡単な仕事があってな。その依頼人にお前にも合わせてみたいと思って。
At the time I made some absurd comment about his dating life.
簡単な仕事なんだ。
To deliver a key to Azusa, it was supposed to be a simple job with nothing more to it. Right, brother?
大事な頼まれ事さ。鍵を届けに行く。ただそれだけ。
Was this really a dream? These remains of my memory. Remnants of my memory. Or was I actually trying to have a conversation I never got to have with him back then? About what I hadn't been able to confirm with him.
大事だけどすぐに済む。簡単な仕事だろ。
He took the key back from Kido, and after carefully ensuring his silence now that he was nothing more than a shell of his former self, we let him go. A wave of exhaustion swept over my entire body the moment he vanished from the oval state. Phew. Overwhelmed with exhaustion, I crumbled down into place. Shia, of course, followed suit.
疲れた。
Her anger was what had kept her going, almost to the point where she seemed like an entirely different person. Shia really must have pushed herself too far, though. Hinata was the only one with the energy to stay standing, and looked down at the two of us.
揃って慣れないことをしたから無理もありませんけど。
Hinata gave us an exasperated look, then turned towards the door Kido had exited through.
本当に良かったんですか？あんな風にあっさり返してしまって。
If we were to confine him for too long, we'd be the ones who wind up criminals. He had perfectly documented his verbal slip-ups. If he ever spoke of what had happened tonight or tried to do something sneakily again, he threatened to immediately release the recording to the public.
あの人が言われた通りにおとなしく引き下がりますかね。
何もかも失ったって途方に暮れてたけど、演技には見えなかった。
His loveliness and dapper personality always felt rather consulted to me, but we watched him plunder off with dropped shoulders.
木戸さんはどちらかといえば悪い意味での見栄を切るばかりが得意な役者にも思えますけど。まあいいです。私が見張っておけば彼がもしまた妙な行動を起こしてもすぐ気づくでしょ。たくもめんどくさい。
Sorry for all the trouble, Hinata. I bowed my head to my childhood friend who had been tasked with even more work.
感謝の念はいずれ形で示してくださいな。今後とも伊勢家をどうぞごひいきに。
Some tangible way, huh? Good point. Maybe it was selfish of me to limit my gratitude to a single sentence. But was there anything I could actually do for Hinata or the Ise family?
もちろん頼らせてもらうわ。私が頼れるのは純也とひなただけなんだから。
千早様はもう少し自重してくれてもいいです。
今も引っ張り上げてほしいんだけど、ひなた釣れない。
緊張が解けて気が抜けてるのはわかりますけど、どんだけ甘えん坊ですか。
That certainly sounded like something Hinata would say as she pulled Hinata to her feet. In the end, the connection between the Hojo and Ise families could never be broken. I guess that would mean if I wanted to try and repay Hinata, then the best course of action might be to protect Chihaya's position, and by extension protect the Hojo family as a whole.
おじいさまの鍵を取り戻したんだもの。少しぐらい気を抜いてもいいでしょ。
In Chihaya's open palm was the tiny key Kido had reluctantly handed over to her. Shouldn't it technically be Azusa's key and not Chihaya's? Even that shameless man eventually gave up after multiple strong worldly orders from Chihaya.
それだって実際に使ってみて本物だとはっきりするまでは安心できませんよ。
まさかこれが偽物だなんてことある？
In the unlikely event he had prepared and given us a fake key to make us drop on guard, only to flee from the scene. What could he possibly have anticipated to be able to go to such extremes?
まさかよね。純也、どう思う？
Chihaya turned towards me in a disbelief. It's real, without a doubt.
なんでそう言い切れるんです？純也さんだって本物は見たことないでしょ？
Yeah, I never saw her grandfather's key, but when I saw the key for myself, I was convinced. If you're talking about the key my brother had on him, I remember it clearly. My heart unsurprisingly skipped a beat the moment I had realized it. Enough that I almost shouted, actually. I recognized the keychain in particular.
この可愛いうさちゃんに？
Yeah. There was no way I would ever mistake it, especially not with a keychain in the shape of a bunny. It was immediately before the accident. Takaya showed it to me in the van. Chihaya was holding the keychain out to me, and I noticed her fingers trembling briefly at my comment.
そうなんだ。あの日。
He told me he had a simple job to go deliver this key. When I think back on it now, my brother kind of looked like he was having fun.
そっか。
Chihaya replied, cupping the key and attached the keychain tenderly in both of her hands.
ねえ、それじゃあこのキーホルダーって高谷さんが用意してくれたの？
Yeah? I don't know. I don't know, sorry. I don't recall him mentioning it. Now that I gave it some thought, It wouldn't have been strange for him to put his own keychain onto a key that wasn't his. If my brother had done it, maybe it was to avoid losing it along the way. It was hard to say.
いいの。もしかしたらおじいさまかもしれないし。どちらにしてもあの子のために用意してくれたのかなって。この可愛いうさぎ。
I see. Luna, written with the kanji for bunny, was Azusa's name back when she and Shihaya played together at their grandfather's house. And my brother planned on making the keychain a gift for the recipient along with the key.
そうよ。おじいさまと高谷さんがあの子のために残し守ってくれた鍵なのよ。これ。
Shia had such a calm look in her eyes as she gazed at the key, almost like she had discovered something nostalgic. Even if our memories were fuzzy or we couldn't see all the way through that fog to reach the truth. As long as we knew it was important to us, that might be enough on its own.
それとても千早様らしい解釈と思いますし、私も純也さんの記憶が間違ってるとは思わないですけど。
I shrugged my shoulders at the way Hinata looked and sounded, like she was having trouble saying it. But I recognized Hinata's attitude was meant to be taken as I don't mean what I'm about to say. I tried to play it off and hoped she'd speak freely. Hinata nodded, but still spoke with a degree of reservation.
万が一ですけど、偶然同じキーホルダーが付けられてるなんてことはさすがにないですよね。
I could more or less tell why Hinata was so skeptical. I was positive she wasn't generally suspicious, but more so being cautious. Shaya was too quick to believe everything I said to her. It would be terrible if my memory was wrong, or if something unimaginable happened. Striking a sense of balance between these two might be the perfect thing to help reach a calm decision. There's a chance my dad or Misora may have seen that keychain too, so can we go check with them? After that I would be certain. Any doubts that this was my own misconception would be cleared away.
そこがまた問題だと思うんですよ。
What do you mean? I thought I had come up with a great idea, but Hinata's expression quickly grew sullen. I really couldn't figure out what she was thinking.
それ、誰がどこでどうやって手に入れたか説明できます？みーちゃんに。
I certainly was careless. Man, I was an idiot.
あ、そうね。そうか。
Shaya's expression turned gloomy. She seemed to have realized it too.
わかりました？千早様が怒ったのと同じ理由で、みーちゃんもショックを受けるんじゃないですか
It was the same with the elderly who witnessed the accident and then refrained from visiting to express his condolences, or maybe it would be far worse. It's possible Kido had left other people he knew well to die. The question was, would Misora remain calm once she learned this? I couldn't do it. I would have lost control if Shaya hadn't lashed out at him at my place. Kido had been at the site of the accident. He watched it all happen, stole the key and then kept it close while figuring innocence. Just how out of whack were Shaya's emotions at the moment when she learned that. Shaya held both of her hands against her chest. It hurt, but she cradled the precious key within her palm all the same.
みーちゃんもだし、本当ならすぐにでもこの鍵あの子に届けてあげたいんだけど、それも難しい？
あの子ってあずささんにですよね。
うん。この鍵はもともとおじいさまから高谷さんが預かって彼女に渡そうとしてたものなんだから。
Shaya had frantically worked to put up a facade that was not her own in preparation for tonight, only to become enraged at Kido. Azusa, Shayah's little sister, was a big part of her motivation. It further drove home the point that Shaya wanted to retrieve a key to make Azusa smile. However, if she were to hand her the key and give an honest explanation of what happened, to be specific, then and where Kido had picked up that key, then
気持ちはわかりますけど、なおさら言えない気がします。
Yeah, I'm sure my brother will be the first thing she thinks about when you hand over the key. I had a feeling Azusa would freak out the same amount of even worse than Misora would. After all, my brother Takaya was dear to her even now.
そうね。特にあの二人には教えたくないかな。さっきの話は。二人にまで同じ思いをさせたくない。
It was an unpleasant topic and wasn't something that Shahaya should keep bottled up forever. However, if I had to say whatever, she should go out of her way to tell Azusa or Misora. Yeah. You want to give her the key, right?
そうなの。
では、鍵の出所はごまかすべきですね。嘘をついてでも。
嘘か。
It only made sense she wouldn't be so inclined to a certain sense. If we were to lie and trick them, we would be no better than Kido. Were we even capable of deceiving our family members and maintaining the lie for the rest of our lives? Let's set aside the fact that it be an emotional issue for my family. I hated how depressing the mood had gotten and shelved this subject temporarily. Then again, I felt like this next topic couldn't be ignored either. I'm sure the whole family wouldn't want these details spread around all that much either tonight's event included.
そうね。
I didn't want to upset Shihaya further, but in fact Hinata had also scrunched up her forehead meant that these two understood what kind of impact the crime Kido had committed would have.
100歩譲って事故そのものには関わってないとしても、おじさまの腹心である秘書が事故現場から個人の私物を猫ババですからね。その上、目撃者を脅してたとなれば。
I bet it would make for an awful lot of commotion in his constituency nationwide. I hadn't silenced Kido about what happened tonight. For our own safety. It was because the fallout wouldn't stop at just him or us.
全盛期はこう言って事態の収束を図ったそうですけどね。すべて秘書が独断でやったことです。私は預かり知らぬことです。
Oh, pin the blame on a subordinate and bail?
今の木戸さんなら切っても惜しくないでしょ。
Don't say something that's scary so casually, but yeah. If this came back on Hojo, then we couldn't be choosy with our methods if we wanted to protect Shihaya.
すべての責任を秘書にかぶせて、自分は病気と言ってほとぼりが冷めるまで入院というのは常套手段だそうですから。〇〇先生はうまく逃げおせたとか、バツバツ先生は下手を打ったとか、父とおじさまがいつだったか話してました。
そういえばそんな話もしてたかも。あ、その時じゃなかった？重人さんがいざとなれば僕が先生の盾になりますよなんて調子よく口にして、お父様から帰って白い目を向けられたの。
そうでしたっけ。ならご本人にその言葉通り実践してもらうまでですよ。
The Hojo and Ise families really were terrifying. How many of these shady topics were they discussing on a regular basis?
お父様がそんな有権者から不信を抱かれる真似をするとは思えないけど、面倒なことになるのは間違いないでしょうね。
If a drama didn't stop at Kido and it came back onto Hojo, then it was certainly possible it would lead to the very local chaos Shihaya was worried about. Besides, if it became public knowledge, then that means Azusa and Misora will hear about it too. That one had all of us staring up at the ceiling. Everything was connected. Once one person got busted, it spread to everyone else. These days, even people who didn't watch TV got their news online or through word of mouth. Word spread whenever you wanted it to to or not, regardless of medium.
どうしよう、純也。
We had finally gotten the key back, but things could become even more agonizing unless we did something. I'm really sorry, brother. There shouldn't be any problems as long as we say it came from my brother's personal effects, right?
この鍵が高谷さんの？
Yeah, you know how we looked for the key together? I could say it was hidden away in his stuff, like I happened to notice it stuffed in between 2 pages of a book I wanted to read.
おお、そうだ、それです。さすが純也さん。
And Atta seemed to think this was the best plan that solved all of our problems.
ダメよ、そんなの。
Shaya reacted to the idea with a stronger of a tone than I expected. Why?
だって。
I don't want you to have to keep lying to me, Sham. And to me. I could tell that Shaya was hesitant to speak her mind. Even so, I remained calm and gazed into Shaya's eyes. She was actually the one to look away first, almost like she felt guilty. It'll be fine as long as Kido continues to remain silent. In his position, he'd never be able to talk about how he was the one who took it anyway.
私とひなただって本当はどこにあったのか口外しない。けど
またそうやって勝手に決める。いえ、この場合は合ってますけど、誰にも言いませんけど。
But you're saying that to Shahai or to me, because you were always complaining about how she didn't make any decisions of her own. Now you're more or less complaining of that she actually does it.
でしょ。だから多分純也のアイデアはうまくいってしまうけど、我が家の不始末を純也と高谷さんに押し付けることになるのよ。
そうか、そうなりますか。
Well, yeah. This would result in the Hoga family never publicly admitting any involvement. Kido would also get off scot-free. Not that I intended to let it stay that way, but that was how it would appear publicly. As such, it wasn't wrong for Shaya to feel guilty. Even so, don't worry about it. It was roughly how I felt about it. However, Shaya seemed to have her own reservations about it.
それに高谷さんの遺品はみーちゃんだって見てるんじゃない？彼女が私が気づかなかったからなんて自分を責めそうで。
Well, that is certainly possible. Darn it. I hadn't thought it through that far. Another careless oversight. Was I not being considerate enough of Misora, or was I just overly considerate of Shihaya? You can't get away with it just being my careless mistake.
みーちゃんも同じように考えるんじゃないかな。表向きは「やだ、私もうっかりしてた」とか笑っても。
Shaya gazed intently into my eyes and didn't look away. Like you, Like you, Misora's heart is wounded too. I don't think I was that sensitive, but that was likely close to what Shaya had wanted to say to me. You're thinking more of Misora than I was. Alright, I take the suggestion back. Thank you. I'm glad I have you two for childhood friends. I was nothing but grateful when I thought about how hard it was to come by the sort of friends who would point out the things you overlooked and your imperfections.
何を今さら。みーちゃんは私たちみんなの妹みたいなものだからですよ。
うん、本当にそれね。あと、幼なじみでよかったって思ってるのはお互い様だから。3人でならなんとかなるわよ。今夜みたいに。
I generally hoped it worked out that way. But if it can't come from me, then where do we say the key came from?
困りましたね。偶然拾ったなんてめちゃくちゃ苦しい説明になるでしょうし。
That had pondered the problem with no easy workable solution. However, Shaya spoke up next with an expression filled with determination.
同じ遺品ならおじいさまのものから出てきたことにすればいいんじゃないかな。
Hey, Shaya.
もともとおじいさまが用意したものだもの。高谷さんに預けたことになっているのも手紙の上での話だから。
That may have been true, but
私たちのうっかりということにするんですか？
それでよくない？おじいさまの遺品はここにもたくさんあるぐらいなんだから。
it was true that the old estate had tons of abandoned furniture and luggage, but it was hard to imagine nobody lived here. Maybe it could have come from a bookcase or a giant vase.
はあ、まあ未整理のまま預けたりしまったりというものがよそにもゴロゴロありますからね。
うん、確か蔵にもまだまだ積んであるはずよ。そのあたりから。そう、私が偶然見つけたと言えばよくない？
I was going to take the blame out of consideration for me. But I think that will have to be it for this video. I had hoped that we could come to another chapter at least until I had to end, but this conversation seemed to go on for a bit longer, so we have to wait until the next video. But things are finally starting to clear up here. So until next one, I hope you liked this video, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!